Guys, it's Radiant, and today's video is on how to do a three-way karma train. That's when you have a commander on each of the sides. You're partied up on TeamSpeak just doing karma trains. So we're going to go over the routes first, then we're going to talk about how getting the tag works in the same overflow. So I'm going to leave a link to this graphic in the description. It's got the Badlands routes, Frost Reach routes, and Overgrowth routes. So everything I say will be on the graphic, so make sure you have this graphic saved. You can access it when needed, and even you can have it on your computer while you're doing the three-way. It is sufficient enough, I'll say, to just look at the graphic for the side that you're going to command at first. That's good enough. Okay, so Badlands routes. So port spawn, you go workshop, keep, reactor, worm, airport, oil event, scorp up at workshop, take the worm tunnel and over, stay in scorp as you scorp down the forge wall, stay in scorp for the keep, then go forge, bell tower, reactor, shrine, waypoint, and repeat. Frost reach routes, you go to the keep, forge, bell tower, reactor, shrine, and then you go on here towards Titone. If you own Titone, go ahead and resupply. If you don't own Titone, just run straight past it. You're going to catapult down observatory wall over here, and here's the catapult spot for observatory wall. Place your catapults over as far as you can so they're less likely to be spotted and get taken out. Now this wall is not breakable, but because the blast damage on the catapult, blast radius is so big, you're going to be catapulting down this wall right here. So this is when you're doing damage to. So that wall's going to go down, so you're going to enter through that. Then you can go reactor, go to the keep, go to altar, statuary, waypoint, and repeat. I want to point out, if your catapults are getting taken out of observatory wall, you're going to have to ram observatory gate, and that's going to use more supply. So as a result of that, you're going to need to have Titone held at all times. So if you don't own Titone, take it on the way out after statuary. Take this reactor, build the generators of the reactor, take Titone, and +5 it and tell the other two commanders not to take Titone, because you're going to be holding on to it the whole match, so you have more supply because you need it because Frost Reach. Another thing, if your Zerg is just really slow for the day, then you can skip shrine in your rotation. So you can go keep, forge, reactor, and end at bell tower. Skipping shrine is going straight north. Just make sure if you're doing that, you're telling that to the other commanders so they know how to adjust. And the overgrowth routes, okay, you go to spawn, you go to reactor, go into this east gate, then go to keep, altar, statuary, reactor, catapult down worm wall. Here's the catapult spot right here, and then worm, reactor, workshop, keep, airport, oil event, waypoint, repeat. Now I want to say, when you go into worm wall, when you see worm and reactor, they could be RI depending on how fast you're going. So if they're RI, just skip them and go straight to workshop, and then go to the keep, and then go to reactor, worm, airport, oil event, waypoint, repeat. Now if your catapults are getting destroyed at worm wall, don't just place them there again, because they're probably going to get destroyed again because people saw them. You go to above airport like this and catapult down the wall there, which is this spot right here. And then after you get in through that wall, go workshop, keep, reactor, worm, airport, oil event, waypoint, and repeat. So those are the routes, and then very easy to do those routes. Now the one thing about the routes I want to say is you're not going to always be doing the routes in the same amount of time, so you could get out of sync a little bit, because one team might lose numbers, you might have a random tank in the DPS, you could have defended keeps, Zerglings might be building siege slow, maybe no one has mastery, your catapults might get destroyed. So if you're getting a little bit out of sync, the way you do it is by stalling, and you're not going to stall by sitting at spawn doing a 6-minute cell break. You're going to actually be capturing stuff in such a way that doesn't mess up the rotation. So that's where the towers come in, because in general you're not capturing towers, as you notice. So there's two types of stalling situations. One, you can't go to the enemy side because they're still finishing their side. Two, you can't waypoint back for your side because they're still finishing your side. So how do you stall in general? Well, you're going to capture a tower, you can capture the reactors, you can capture the sentries underneath, you can run your Zerg through Aether Blades. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to always be checking your party to see where the other commanders are and seeing whether or not you need to stall. And then you're basically just trying to flip keeps as fast as you can. That's why you don't take towers in general. But so you can do that to stall, and more specific stalling tactics are all listed in each of these graphics. So now let's go to this. Okay, so getting the tag in the same overflow as everyone else. So when the matches first open up, go ahead and immediately enter Edge of the Mist. You're going to not be partied up together, and you're going to be put in the main overflow, which is not the one you want because there's more defenders and guild groups there. Type out /IP like this right here, and you get the IP address of the first overflow, which is the top one right there in this case. And then you're all three going to repeatedly leave and re-enter Edge of the Mist trying to get the second overflow. So each time you're spawning in, type out /IP and get the IP address. Just look at the last 3 digits. As you see, I boxed them in. And if you get an IP address different than the first overflow, then you know you're in the second. So if you get the second overflow, tag up. You should already really have your tags up as you're doing this, repeatedly leaving, re-entering. So once you get the second overflow, tell the other two that you got the second overflow and they need to do a /join on you. Now, if someone else got the second overflow instead of you on your guild that's doing this with you, then you're just going to join on that person. So you just join their party, press B, leave Edge of the Mist, and then re-enter Edge of the Mist while you're partied up. In the overflow, hopefully you all three get the commander tag. And then we're just about to end this video. I want to say you can get the IP address on the loading screen, so that's more convenient because you'll know the IP address earlier. So you can go ahead and tell your guildies right away when you're on the loading screen. Now, how do you do that? You go to this page. I'll leave a link to this in the description. This is the command line arguments page, and you can follow the directions here based on your operating system. And the one that you want is the map load info, and that's going to display the IP address on the loading screen. So there you guys have it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.